Okay, so today was like negative 48 degrees, okay? It's been freezing. So I didn't want to stop on my way home from work, but I needed some stuff from Costco that has been long overdue. So I was like, you know what, let me stop. So I just thought I would do a quick Costco haul. I actually literally only went because I wanted a rotisserie chicken and like Clorox wipes, but I ended up with all this other crap because you know how Costco can be. So I got a rotisserie chicken because I'm gonna make chicken noodle soup tonight, so maybe I'll vlog that, or I might make it into a cooking video. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see what happens. And then I got this, we always use deli meat because sometimes Brian will pack sandwiches for lunch, and we like this Hillshire Farm slow roasted turkey breast. And we're not ham people, we're turkey people, and this one was on sale. And usually if you get it at the grocery store, it's just one of these pouches right here, and it's pretty pricey. I mean, it could be $3 to $4 to $5 depending on the pack you get. And this is a 3-pack, and it was on sale for like $6, so I thought it was a good deal. And sometimes if I don't cook some ground meat for Coco in time for his dinner, I'll put a little bit of this in his food just to kind of give it some flavor. And then I picked up this Kirkland brand basil pesto, and I've just been meaning to make some pesto tortellini, so I wanted to get some more pesto. And then I saw this, and I think this was because it's been so cold out today that I was like, I just want something hot, and that's also why I'm making chicken noodle soup. But I also thought I'd pick this up because Brian and I both love seafood and clam chowder and corn, stuff like that. So this is the Blount king crab and corn chowder, so that should be good. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks good. So, oh, here's how it looks on the side. So just kind of like a bisque, I don't know. Then I got this bag of broccoli florets, and I just wanted to kind of use that for whatever I cook. I just like having broccoli. Usually I get a whole head of broccoli, but I was like, you know what? I just need some pre-washed, pre-cut broccoli today. So this is what? 1 bag of florets equals 8.5 crowns of broccoli. So that's pretty impressive that 8.5 crowns of broccoli fit in this bag. Over here, we needed more foil. This thing is so heavy. I got some Reynolds wrap, just a 2-pack of foil. I got some batteries. This is just a Duracell pack of AA batteries because we just need some batteries around the house. And then I got this. I actually got this for Brian to surprise him because we have a Swiffer, but we ran out of the wet ones. You know, the floors were just really gross, so he wanted to Swiffer, and we ran out of the wet Swiffer wipes. So today at Costco I saw these, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this for him. And it was on sale, so it's a good deal. There's a dense pack in here. So what is this? 2 cartons of 32 refills each. And then of course this was the main reason I went. We ran out of Clorox wipes, and oh my god, this is so heavy. We just like having these on hand. And then lastly, the other reason I went to Costco was to get new dog treats for Coco. And usually, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Costco dog treats, but usually I get the chicken pot pie ones, and he loves the chicken pot pies. And it's from the same brand, Top Chews, I think. But they didn't have any more. I don't know if they discontinued it or what, but I found these chicken jerky fillets, and I know he's gonna like these. He's had them before, but he really loves the chicken pot pie. So Costco, God, Costco would never be watching my video, but Costco, if you're watching, bring those chicken pot pies back because the doggies love them, okay? Brian, thank goodness, loaded the dishwasher this morning before he left for work, so I'm gonna run that real quick. So I decided to kind of vlog how I make my chicken noodle soup. And so what I do is, I know this looks gross right now, but trust the process, okay? So that's the rotisserie chicken I got from Costco earlier in this vlog. So I just pretty much put it in a big pot. Last time I had a bigger pot, so this time the chicken's kind of sticking out, but just a big pot that the rotisserie chicken can fit in. And pretty much I just fill it with water, just enough to cover the chicken, pretty much. And last time I had a bigger pot, so I had more space for the chicken, or for water, so it covered the chicken better. So this time the leg is kind of sticking out, so I'm just gonna have to make sure to keep on doing this whole thing throughout the process to kind of keep it moist up here, or tender. And So I have that on kind of high heat right now. So we're kind of just let that sit. And I had already added salt and pepper and a little bit of this chicken bouillon. And you can get that anywhere. And you can use whatever brand, but I just picked this one up from, I think, Walmart? I don't know. And I also added some garlic powder. So this is kind of one of those things that I eyeball. And last time I made this, Brian really liked it. He was like, oh my God, you have to make that again. And I always tell him that the way I cook is eyeballing. You know, I kind of grew up with my mom cooking like that. So I don't really go by recipes. I kind of just cook as I go. And so he was like, you better not say that you can't recreate it because you don't have a recipe. And I was like, well, yeah, because I didn't use a recipe, so I can't recreate it because I just, I kind of eyeballed it. And so he was like, you always say that, but it truly is just one of those things where I add the seasoning as I go. So I'll try it as it kind of cooks and see how much flavor we can get out of the rotisserie chicken and then add more as needed. But right now I'm just kind of heating it up. So while I'm heating that up, I'm just gonna cut up some carrots. I have these carrots here and some celery, and sometimes I like to just throw in some baby carrots too. It just adds a nice sweeter flavor. I'm also going to be boiling up some rotini. Also, I forgot to mention that I will add the carrots as soon as possible. So I'm going to add the baby carrots in first because I love carrots that are really like tender to the point where they're kind of melting in your mouth. So the baby carrots are kind of harder, so I'm gonna put them in first, and I'm gonna quickly chop up or peel and quickly chop up these the bigger carrots, and then add them as well. But I'm pretty much just going to kind of put them in with the chicken as it's going, like before it's even boiled. Boom. So everything's chopped. Now we're gonna add the carrots. I wish that I had done this before the water started boiling. I also forgot to mention that, what was I gonna say? So you wanna start off at a higher heat, but then as it starts to heat up, you wanna turn it down to a pretty low heat just to kind of let it simmer. And especially if you want your carrots to be super, you know, tender and just melt in your mouth kind of texture, just like if you get it in the canned soup, like the Progresso. Is it Progresso? Yeah, Progresso. I was gonna say Progressive, but that's the insurance, right? I think. Oh, also, I love having carrot rings of different varying sizes. I remember always loving that in my chicken noodle soup. So I did do that. That's why I get the big carrots, so that I can cut them into these circles or these rings, because I don't know, it's just not as fun with the baby carrots. And I forgot to mention that I don't add the celery until kind of when it's almost done, because I don't like the celery as mushy as the carrots. I kind of like the celery a little bit more just soft. All right, little update here. You know what? I'm so bad about keeping track of the time to tell whoever it is that I'm explaining the recipe to, like when to do things, because I think I'm just so used to the way my mom and my grandma cooked while I was growing up that I picked it up from them. But pretty much I kind of just check in with it and kind of decide for myself when I think it's a good time. But pretty much this whole time I have been checking back in to kind of do this, to kind of just keep everything moist and moisturized or lubricated, whatever word you want to use, and also scooping out this the bubbles that come to the top. I did add more of the bouillon and more salt throughout, and now it's at a good place for me personally. And the way that I determine when I add the celery is when, and I have this on like a 4 this whole time. I've had it on 4 for probably over 30 minutes now, like at a simmer. So the way that I determine when I add the celery is, what I'll do is I will go in and I check the carrots. So I check like a big piece that I put in last, and when I see that the color is starting to get red and like a little bit more red, and you know, it's caramelizing a little bit, not caramelizing, but the flavor is coming out of it, and I kind of take one and I take a little bite into it. So I will do one of these here. Let me try to, I kind of take a little nibble out of it, if you can see that. Like, not a full bite, but just like a little nibble. And if I can make that kind of dent, like it doesn't take a lot for me to bite into it. When it's starting to get like that, like on that piece that I picked up, it's not soft in the middle yet. Like, I can't bite all the way through it, but on the edges, as it's starting to finally get soft, that's when I'll add the celery. And then also when I'm adding the celery is when I will start cooking the pasta. So I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna cook the pasta now. The water's boiling. Usually I will just add salt and olive oil to it. I'm just gonna go ahead and add my celery now and just kind of adding it to the mix. So see, I don't know if you can see this, but see all this, it's like all that residue. I just dump it. All right, so I just checked the pasta and it's just right about al dente. If you don't know what al dente means, it means it's just like you bite into it and it's like a firm softness, and then it kind of, the center is not fully soft, but it's just like soft, you know? So it's still a little bit firm, which I love. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out and strain it. And then I'm just gonna let it strain for a little bit just to get all that excess water out. And then I'm going to dump it into our broth here, which I just tasted, and it tastes amazing. It's just right. Last time I made it a little bit too salty, but Brian loved it, so I'm scared he might not like it as much now, but you'll see later for the Toots Tries. That's my new segment, Toots Tries. So I'm gonna cook and let him try it, and then he's gonna tell me what he thinks. So hopefully it's up to par from last time. Fingers crossed, everybody. I'm gonna try this again real quick. Hold on. Ooh, that's good. I'm excited. And I love, do you know what I love? When he actually stopped home, he said, oh, like, he likes the baby carrots. He doesn't like the round ones. And I was like, oh my God, I'm the opposite. I'm so glad, because now he can eat the baby carrots and I'll eat the other ones. But you know what I love about the other ones is that I love when it's cooked and it becomes so rich in color. I think it's so pretty, especially in the soup. I think it's so pretty. Yeah, so we're just gonna let that kind of go. And at this point, I'm just gonna kind of let it simmer and kind of just let it kind of have its last moments of simmering before I add the pasta. So the other reason I like to take this out right before it's al dente is because once I add it to this broth here, it's going to kind of cook it a little bit more too, and just while it's simmering with it to absorb that flavor. So I don't like mushy noodles. Here's just a nice little scoop. How pretty is that? So I love seeing how this turns out, and I'm so excited to eat it. I hope Brian hurries himself home so we can start eating dinner, because it's ready, Freddy. So this part is optional. This part is what I like to call the labor of love part. This is like if you have a little extra time, if you're feeling a little generous. So pretty much I will take the chicken and pull it apart pretty much. So just take out all, like, pull apart the skin, because the skin is gonna leave a lot of residue in your broth, and it's so unappetizing and unappealing. So I like to take the skin off, except for I always will leave the drumsticks. Like, I always just pull apart the drumsticks first and leave them intact, because I think that it's really cute to have the drumsticks in, just aesthetically pleasing. But then I pretty much pulled apart like little bites for Coco that I can add to his dinner. But then I pretty much pull it out like that, scrape off all this extra like under the skin fat, and then kind of shred the chicken and put it back in. So it's all done, and we're ready for Toots Tries.
The first one was really good. So
yeah, I said this in the vlog earlier. Back up a little bit. So I said this in the vlog earlier. I literally said, you know, you really liked the first one, so I hope this one lives up to, you know, the expectations. I'm scared. I don't think. Good. No, I think it's
the exact same. It's just not
as salty. I knew it. I said that in the vlog earlier too, because I was like, oh, it's perfect right now, but I think Toots isn't gonna like it as much because it's not as salty, but it's perfect for me.
It's very good. I honestly feel like most people would prefer it this way than.
Yeah, last time I made it too salty.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's approved.
Very good.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.